Let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. We are live. Welcome to the Sports Behavior Podcast. I am your host, OgDaBeast, here with my main man, co-host, Chltwn32. What's poppin', huh?
In the house, what's happening with you?
Man.
Gonna talk some football today.
Yes, sir. Look, I don't know if y'all might not know, but today, man, we got a mostly football show. You see, we all dressed up for the occasion, and usually I start with the hot take of the day, with the spicy take of the day. But today we got some breaking news, man. Le'Veon Bell was signed to the Baltimore Ravens, a team that refused him at first, but now they brought him in with the injury to J.K. Dobbins, and there's really nobody behind Gus Edwards, who I think is still going to get a big-time workload in this offense. What you think about the signing of Le'Veon Bell?
Well, first and foremost, your quarterback can't be your leading rusher and rush for 1,000 yards again. You have to have somebody toting the rock primarily.
Right.
And that was going to be Dobbins, but he got hurt. Okay. Now, Le'Veon Bell is the best thing on the market. As of right now, he's the best thing on the market, and he's going to help them. I think it's good for them. Absolutely. I don't think he's washed. I think he can definitely give them some quality runs.
Well, see, that's what I disagree with, man. I don't want to say Le'Veon Bell is washed. I just don't think he's what the Ravens need. You know, he's more of a patient runner, and the Ravens, rely a lot on Lamar Jackson to run the football, but Gus Edwards is a power back. You know what I'm saying? And I think with Lamar Jackson's elusiveness mixed in with Gus Edwards' power, I think they're the perfect blend. Le'Veon Bell, the only way I could see him being of some value, some true value to this team is in a third down role. You know, and which was going to be Gus Edwards' job if J.K. Dobbins was healthy, but he's not. So that's neither here nor there, though. The Baltimore Ravens have signed Le'Veon Bell, and we gonna see what happens. Fantasy value. Does this take carries away from Gus Edwards? All those guys that drafted Gus Edwards, man, we're going to have to wait and see. I know my man DJ picked him up in the draft as a free agent, and he's happy about the news of Le'Veon Bell being the newest acquisition of the Baltimore Ravens. But moving on to the spicy take of the day, right? Y'all see, like I say, we in our football attire today. So I was swiping through Twitter, right? NFL Twitter made a statement. I seen a tweet. Now, I don't know who sent it. I don't know. I'm not going to put no names on who possibly could have stated this. But a lot of people were saying Miles Sanders will lead the NFC East in rushing this season. Now, the NFC East is probably the best division when it comes to the running back position. You got Ezekiel Elliott. You got Antonio Gibson. You got Saquon Barkley. And, of course, you got my man, Miles Sanders. Now, the question is, do I believe, and, of course, you can answer when I'm done, do I believe this to be true? Now, and also, what order, if not, do you see the NFC East shaping out according to rushing yards? Who's going to lead it and who's going to finish last? Personally to me.
Now, before we go any further, take off the Eagles hat, right? And I need you to put on the football hat. Take off the Eagles hat and put on the football hat, okay? All right? Because I can appreciate those are your boys, right? But I need you to take off the Eagles hat and put on the football hat. Listen, right man, now.
This is a football hat, man, and I'm an Eagles fan. These are my boys, and this is how we ride. And look, I don't know about you, but I believe in NFL Twitter, man. Y'all some smart boys over there. I got Miles Sanders. Look, personally, first and foremost, like I stated, these are the best running backs of any division you can match up. You can try any division in the NFL. I don't think you're going to find 4 running backs better than these compilation of running backs, right? I think all of these guys personally going to go over 1,000 this year. Personally, my opinion. I think all of these guys is going to go over 1,000. But I do think Miles Sanders will lead this division in rushing, right? Doug Peterson never ran the ball. Let's be honest. And Miles Sanders averaged like 5.7 yards per carry last year without even getting that many touches. Every time he touched the ball, it seemed like he was getting 6 yards. So now we got Sirianni, who was the offensive coordinator of the Colts, which was a run-heavy offense, right? Healthy offensive line, and when the Eagles' offensive line is healthy, we at least top 5 in the league. You're gonna give us that, right? So in order, like I say, I got all of these guys rushing over 1,000 yards this year. No doubt about it. It's not a question, right? So I got Miles Sanders at 1, leading the NFC East in rushing. At 2, I got Saquon Barkley, right? I think he's gonna come back with a bang this year, even though the offensive line it's very unsure. We don't know. But the the Giants, I think, is going to lean heavy on the run game this year, even though they got Kenny Galladay. I think they still going to try to lean on Saquon Barkley, and he's supposed to be ready for week 1. So I think he's going to come in a close second with Ezekiel Elliott. Now, the reason why I got Ezekiel Elliott at 3, even though I think Ezekiel Elliott probably on a lot of people's list would be number 1 because the Cowboys like to run the ball. But Dak Prescott, man. Dak Prescott could potentially throw for 5,000 yards this year, y'all. And that's
we're gonna get to that. We ain't there yet, but we're gonna get to that.
We're gonna get to it. But I think Dak Prescott could potentially throw for 5,000 yards. Who knows? But Ezekiel Elliott, man, is 3rd on my list, surprisingly, because I don't know how good that defense is. I think they might be coming from behind a lot like they like to do, and that's going to force Dak Prescott to throw the ball. And, of course, last but not least, I got Antonio Gibson, right? Like I say, all of these guys will rush for 1,000 yards. I'm not calling any of these guys worse than the next guy because all of these guys are premier running backs in the National Football League. But I got Antonio Gibson last. They got a great defense, which could incline them to run the ball more, especially running on the clock. Because I got Washington, man. They might lead. They might win this division. So they got a dominant defense. Pro Football Focus rates this offensive line 17th in the league going into the season. That scares me. That's bottom half of the NFL. So I don't know. I got Antonio Gibson at 4th, and that is where I see the NFC shaping up when it comes to rushing. What about you?
All right, okay, Beast. I'm going to start the conversation with something that you told me about a month ago when preseason started. I believe the word that you used for your Philadelphia Eagles was Gabricio. Okay? The word was Gabricio.
It was definitely.
So with that being said, okay, there's no way you selling me a team that's going to be super whack that got a guy that's leading the division in rushing.
We're going to surprise a lot of people, man. We're going to surprise
Number two, Zeke is coming back with a better offensive line. He's in better shape. He lost 10 pounds. Dak is healthy. Like you just said, he might throw for 5,000 yards. That defense, they spent a lot of money. They got 8 new defenders in Dallas. So they spent a lot of money on that defense. So that defense is going to be a lot better, which means the Cowboys are going to have the ball a lot longer now.
They say that every year.
No, not every year. And I'm not getting sucked into we winning it this year, Cowboy fans. No, I'm not doing that. Absolutely
I hope not.
I'm not getting sucked into that.
Because they say that shit every year. We better defensively. We'll be better, and they end up last in the damn league. So we'll see about that.
They do. But what I always say, when I look at Zeke Elliott, this is a guy who the season before, he ran for 1,300 yards. Dak was hurt last year. Dak is healthy this year. They still have the same offensive weapons that they had when Dak threw for almost 5,000 yards. Zeke was toting that rock. I can appreciate the logic with putting Sanders at the top because Barkley was hurt. So he's coming off a season-ending injury. Correct. Zeke is coming off a down year. And there has not been a team in the last 20 years, when you talk about the Washington football team, there hasn't been a team in the NFC East in the last 20 years to win the division back-to-back seasons.
That's true.
So, with that being said, that Washington team, that offense isn't very good. And with that being said, they're going to have to win a lot of their games on defense, which means that I'm not sweating Gibson at all. I think he's at the bottom. Next to him is your man Sanders, Barkley, and Zeke. That's where I'm going.
So you got Zeke, Barkley, Sanders, Gibson.
That's it.
Okay, it is what it is. I could dig it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, y'all gonna stop hating on my Eagles, man. And I'm gonna tell y'all just like this: Miles Sanders is gonna shock the world. Don't be surprised if not only
who started this.
Look,
Beast,
hey,
you
just
started this. You the one who said y'all was gonna be trash. It was you.
Look. CJ2K ran for 2,000 yards and missed the playoffs. It's possible. It's very possible. Just because we garbage don't mean Miles Sanders can't get off. We gonna get us 5 or 6 games this year. I don't care what nobody say. We ain't finishing last. I'll be damned. The Giants gonna hold that. We ain't finishing last. The Giants gonna hold.
A lot better than
the Giants. They got a pretty good defense. You know, they got a pretty good defense, but their offense is Gabricio. Point blank. Period. So look, we ain't finishing. We gonna beat out the Giants. That's for damn sure. Cowboys and Redskins is going to duel it out for supremacy over this division, but I'd be damned if we finish last. Damn that. But let's segue to this, right? Every social media platform, since I've been doing social media, before the start of every season, I love to do a segment, make a video called Who Will Lead the League? I'm probably still going to make another video on TikTok about this, right? I love this game because months from now, I want to look back on it and see where we see where we was at with these predictions, how accurate we are. Mm-hmm. We are going to try to predict who will lead the league. Most of the major statistical categories outside of catches is what we going to go by. Unc, I'm going to let you go first on this one.
All right. So we'll start with passing. We'll start with pass yards. Now, you got the usual suspects with Brady, and he got his whole crew back. All 22 starters are coming back. And Brady threw for 4,600 yards? 4,600 yards last season. So there's no reason for me to think, barring any health, that he's not going to have a similar season. Same thing with Pat Mahomes. He's got that offensive line shored up, and he's got Cheetah back. So there's no reason for me to think that he's not going to be at another 4,000 to 4,500 yards throwing. Now, I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in this for you because Dak is going to be healthy this season, and he got all his weapons.
So what are you saying?
What I'm saying, and not just him, I'm going to throw a name at you. I expect Jameis Winston to be right at the top of this list. And you know why I expect Jameis Winston to be at the top of this list? Because I'm looking at what I saw in Tampa when he threw for 5. That everybody talks about the 33 interceptions. He did throw for 5,000 yards. He's running with a better offense. That's number one. He's running with a more disciplined coach.
True.
And I think that he also has better weapons. And I could see Jameis having a big year this year. But I got to go with Dakota Prescott leading the league in yards.
Okay. I thought you was scaring the hell out of me for a minute. I thought you was going to ride with Jameis Winston for a split. So you got Dak. Dak leading the league in passing yards. What about touchdowns?
Well, I don't see Aaron Rodgers throwing for 48 touchdowns again. I'm just having a hard time with that. I just don't see that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm going to throw another monkey wrench at you. I wouldn't be surprised if Kyler Murray led the league in touchdowns this year, because not only with having Hopkins, not only with having Hopkins, he got AJ Green back there too. Mm-hmm. And AJ Green's going to have a much better season this season. I think he's rejuvenated playing in Arizona. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Kyler Murray lead the league in touchdowns this year.
Okay. I'm not mad at you. That's an unconservative pick, but I'm not mad at that. What about rushing yards?
Well, we all know and this list isn't difficult for me at all. So I'm gonna go from 10 to 1. At 10, I got Jacobs. At number 9, I love Mixon. I wanted to put Mixon in my top 5, but Mixon stayed beat up, and I can't put him.
This just rushing yards. This is just the yards. So you're doing. Who you think gonna lead the league in rushing yards? Top 10 right now? Oh, okay. Go ahead with it. Go ahead with it. I thought you was about to name your top 10 running backs. I'm like, we ain't there yet.
Oh. That's what I'm talking about. Rush yard. Oh, so we talking about who's leading the league?
Yeah, this is still who leading the league. Yeah. Okay. We doing rushing yards.
That's simple. That's Derrick Henry for me.
Okay.
He's the workhorse back, and ain't nobody seeing him.
Okay.
That's simple.
Copy that. What about rushing touchdowns this year?
I'll tell you what, man. I think that, like I talked about with Jameis, I think that Kamari, they're going to be in the red zone a lot, and they're going to go to him a lot. So I would not be surprised if Alvin led the league.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if Kamara led the league in touchdowns.
Now, let's go receiving yards. Who do you think is going to lead the league in receiving yards this year?
The same dude from last year, Hopkins.
D-Hop?
I just don't see nobody. He catches everything in his vicinity. Can't nobody cover him. And he's the focal point of that offense. So I wouldn't be surprised to see another 1,300-yard to 1,500-yard season from him.
I could see that. Now, receiving touchdowns. Who's leading the league?
That's simple for me because in the red zone, Aaron Rodgers got one guy.
I knew you was going to hear it that way.
He's got one guy, and that one guy is Devontae Adams. That's his guy. So
I agree. Now, switch to the defensive side before I take control, we got 3 categories on the defensive side of the ball: tackles, interceptions, and, of course, my favorite defensive stat, sacks. Who will lead the league in tackles?
Well, I'm going to throw another monkey wrench at you.
You got a lot of wrenches in your pocket.
I do. I got a lot of wrenches in my pocket.
I ain't mad at you.
Roquan Smith, he led the league. He was second in the league, in solo tackles. Second. That Chicago Bears defense is going to be better this year, and I think he's going to be better. So I think he's going to be at the top of the list. I wanted to go with Jalen Smith, but I don't trust that Cowboys defense just yet. I just can't do it.
And also with the acquisition of that rookie too, he's going to take some of that away. What about interceptions? Who you got?
That's easy for me. It's Howard. He's the best. Yeah. I think he's the best in the game.
I agree.
I don't see nobody better than him. So
last but not least,
in terms of sacks, I think we keep it in the family. Who was the sack king over the last 5 years?
Who was it? Aaron Donald?
Nope.
What?
It
wasn't Aaron.
Mr. Watt.
Okay, T.J. Watt.
Yeah, and all he doing is passing it to his brother. That's all he doing.
Yeah.
He ain't doing nothing else but passing it to his brother. It's in the family. I did it for this long. Now you're gonna do it.
Yeah, so, and T.J. Watt at this point might be better than J.J. Sad to say, but that's just how good both of those guys are.
Absolutely.
Not to slight J.J. at anything, but now my side of the spectrum.
I'm listening.
I'm not gonna lie. We kind of agree on a lot of the things that, the categories that we got. But if I'm going with it, passing yards, I'm going with a team that runs the ball the least in the National Football League, and that's the Buffalo Bills. Their quarterback just so happens to be Josh Allen, and I have Josh Allen on the outside of my top 5, and a lot of people got Josh Allen in their top 5.
Right.
This could be the year that he proves to me last year was not, I don't want to call it a fluke, but that he can be on a more consistent pace of dominance, because he got his first playoff win last year. He had a great season last year, MVP-type season last year. And I think they don't run the ball. So I think Josh Allen is going to lead the league in passing. This dude is going to throw.
Which makes him more prone for mistakes, OG.
That is true.
That makes him even more prone for mistakes.
He may throw interceptions.
And he's one of those guys where he screws up, he'll wreck you.
See, we're not talking interceptions here now. Jameis led the league in passing. If he did, Ben Roethlisberger might have led it that year, and they both threw for 5,000. I'm not sure from the back of my mind, but Jameis Winston threw for 5,000 yards and had 30 picks. So even if Josh takes care of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Josh Allen takes care of the ball. So I don't think, and plus he could protect himself with his running game, with his ability to run the ball. He's not stuck in a bad situation. Okay, so if y'all didn't hear, receiving yards, I had DK Metcalf. He's going to prove to y'all that he's a top 10 talent in this league this season. Receiving touchdowns, I agree with Unc. What's understood don't have to be explained. Give me Tay Adams, man. He's just too big of a red zone threat. I really, really thought about Mike Evans because he's just as big as a red zone threat as Tay Adams, except the fact that Tay Adams really got no competition at the wide receiver spot in Green Bay. It's all Tay Adams. When they lining up, they don't even run the ball on the goal line. Goal to goal, they are passing. First down, they are play action passing. I don't know why the rest of the league ain't caught on to this yet. But, straight up, Aaron Rodgers is looking to throw 50 touchdowns. They are passing. So give me Tay Adams. I wouldn't be.
They could be on the 2 when they throwing the ball. They're not running.
I'm saying, it's so crazy. I would not be surprised if Tay Adams broke Randy Moss's record this year and caught 20-something touchdowns. He had 18 last year and missed 2 games. I mean, so it's I would not be surprised. But defensively, tackles, I'm going to go with Fred Warner. I think Fred Warner is one of the best middle linebackers in the game. And he had almost 130 tackles last year. And this defense is back healthy, which would help him put himself in a better position to secure more tackles. And I think Fred Warner for the 49ers is going to really come up big. This man might get 200-something tackles this year. Look out for Fred Warner. Interceptions. I agree with Unc again, Xavier Howard. I picked Xavier Howard to lead the league in interceptions the past 3 years I've been doing this segment. All 3 years I have picked Xavier Howard, and he hasn't disappointed me. 2 years ago, he tied for first. Last year, he led the league, and this year, he will do it again. He's just a ball hawk. He reminds me so much of Ed Reed in a corner's body, man. If Ed Reed played corner, he'd be Xavier Howard.
That's what he looked like.
Straight up. Sacks, again, I agree with Unc. It's hard to dispute TJ Watt, man. TJ Watt is such a dog. He is such a dog. All he does is get to the quarterback. He don't have any other assignments. Get to the quarterback, stop the run if you can't get to the quarterback. Straight like that.
And we got people to stop the run too, OG. So don't worry about that. You get to the QB. Yeah. That's all we want you to do.
Straight like that.
You don't got to do nothing else. You just get to the quarterback.
He's relentless. Like TJ Watt is a dog. Moving on. Unc wanted to prematurely talk about his top 10 wide receivers, or was it running backs? You wanted to prematurely talk about your top 10 running backs in the league.
I almost jumped the gun.
You ain't got to rush. You ain't got to. We here, baby.
We
ain't got to rush. Now we can get into your top 10 running backs going into the 2020, 2021 season?
2021 season.
Let's go.
Yep.
What you got? I want to hear this because you've been spicy with the top 10s. So I want to hear where you're going with this one. Your top 10 running backs going into the 2021 season.
I'm a huge workhorse back. I'm a huge workhorse back fan. Who is carrying the load? Now, I know that the days of, the primary ball carrier carrying it 25, 30 times a game, I know that dude is gone. All right. So, a guy carrying it 15, 20 times a game, that's primary. That's the workhorse back today. Mm-hmm. All right, I can get with that. So, at 10, I got Jacobs. I got Josh Jacobs. And I think that what he's doing with the Raiders,
DJ.
They're going to be a lot better. That offensive line, he's going to help Derek Carr out tremendously and open up that pass game. I'm loving him. At number 9, and I want to put this dude higher, but I can't because they just whack. Joe Mixon. I love Mixon. I loved him in college. I loved him in the pros. He's nicked up, but I think that he's a top 10 back. And I think that if he was in Cleveland, I think they'd be at the top of the AFC North.
I agree.
No question.
That's how good of a running back he is. He's extremely talented. He's just stuck in a bad situation.
That's all it is right there. Number 8, and he's a little low for most people, but he's coming off a season-ending injury. I got Barkley at number 8 because I got to see what he comes back looking like. Now, I can't go off of what he did in previous seasons.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm talking about going into the season. I got Barkley at 8. At number 7, I got Aaron Jones. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I got Aaron Jones at 7 is because that Green Bay offense is so spread out. Like you just said, they don't really have anybody playing any competition with Devontae Adams. Mm-hmm. However, they don't really run the ball that much. They don't run it as much as they could. They don't run it nearly as much as they could. Right. But I love Aaron Jones. Absolutely. At 6, I got Zeke. I think Zeke, I got Zeke right outside my top 5. I got Zeke running the football, and I got him doing much better this season than he did last season. But I got him right outside the top 5 this year.
To interrupt you, this is actually not a bad start. This is you on point today.
At number 5, I got Nick Chubb. Now remember, he only played 12 games. Played 12 games and ran over 1,000 yards.
Right.
All right, ran over 1,000 yards. See, I think he only has 16 carries a game, and 71 yards. And he was another one who, if he can get him more involved in the offense, they got a weird dynamic going on in Cleveland, man.
Him and Kareem Baker. Yeah.
Well, I love Baker and Landry. I love that. Something's going on there with Baker and ODB. I don't know what it is, I don't know what it is, Beast, but something ain't correct there with them two. Yeah. But I love what he's doing with Chubbs. Absolutely. Yeah. At number 4, I got Alvin. I got Kamara at 4. At 3, I got Cook. He would be higher if he could hold up.
Yeah, I feel you on that.
If he could hold up, he'd be a lot higher because he's arguably when he's healthy, he's arguably the best back in the game.
I can.
At number 2, I got, and this is simple for me. At 2, I got Mac. I got McCaffrey, and I think he's the best all-around back in the game. In my opinion, I think he's the best all-around back in the game. He does everything.
Okay, no lie about that.
And it's easy with D. Henry because D. Henry is the workhorse back. Mm-hmm. He's the dude who we running the offense through. He's Emmitt Smith. Yeah. He's Walter Payton. He's Eddie George. He's the guy who we giving the football to 25 times a game, and he's going to take us to where we need to go. And I haven't seen anybody like him in a long time.
I'm actually not mad at that list. Our lists are very close. We're very close. Actually, we got the same players in our list. Is just a little bit, rearranged. At 10, I got Chris Carson. Chris Carson is a guy that's very overrated, or underrated. I'm sorry. Damn. Mm-hmm. He's very underrated, and I think Chris Carson will get the respect that he deserves because he overshadowed by the rest of the guys on that offense. But he's a very important piece and has been a great fill-in for Beast Mode since he's left. And Rashard Penny is Gabricio, and he damn near didn't make the team this year, and he's not who I thought he was, and he ain't going to take no carries away from Chris Carson. At 9, I got Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, like you said, Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers show over there in Green Bay. Aaron Jones is another running back that kind of gets overshadowed. He can do everything. But Jamal Williams is gone, so Aaron Jones has the backfield to himself. I doubt he's going to come off the field except for I forget about A.J. Dillon. He may take some carries away from him. So we're going to see what Aaron Jones is able to do in a committee. I don't want to call it a committee because there's only 2 of them, but we'll see what Aaron Jones is able to do in his offense. He can do it all. So he really don't – to me, they've been disrespecting him. He really don't need to come off the field. Because he can catch, he can run, between the tackles to the outside, zone run, everything. But, they feel like they don't want to wear their running back down.
Let me ask you this question real quick, do you think that they need to feature him more on the
I do, because Aaron Jones is extremely polished. He's a dude that can do it all, and he's immensely talented. The great mixture of speed and quickness. And, I don't know why they don't feature him more. They always bringing in somebody that's a threat to take his job. I mean, not to say that Jamal Williams was, but he got a lot of touches in that backfield for Green Bay when you got a guy as talented as Aaron Jones. But at 8, I got Joe Mixon. Like you say, Joe Mixon is a hell of a talent, and if he was on any run-first offense with a decent, even a halfway decent offensive line, he may be considered as the best back in the league. This is a do-it-all guy. Run, catch. It's not a damn thing on the field that Joe Mixon can't do. He's just stuck in an offense that now potentially could be extremely pass-heavy. So we'll see how that goes. At 7, Saquon Barkley. Saquon is coming off a major injury, an injury that was career-ending about 20 years ago. And we got to see, as talented as Saquon is, we have to see what he looks like when he gets back. We can't just anticipate that this guy is going to be Saquon. He has to show improvement. Maybe he can jump where he's rightfully deserving to be, and that's back in the top 5, but we'll see. At 6, I got my man Ezekiel Elliott. Now, anybody that knows me know I got a man crush on Ezekiel Elliott. He was the best back in the league. I was calling him the best back in the league coming into last season, and he had a down year, and now I got him at 6, and maybe he can show me something this year, and I got a feeling, like I say, the Cowboys are going to be pass happy, and Dak could potentially go over 5,000 yards, which could definitely eat away at Zeke's production. At number 5, just like you, I got Nick Chubb. He's in a timeshare with Kareem Hunt, who, in my opinion, if he was on his own team, is also a top 5 running back. It's like 8 top 5 running backs. I'm not going to lie to you. But, he's in a timeshare with Kareem back, an extremely talented back that they cannot keep off the field. They got to get him in the game. He's that talented. And, Chubb is great, too. Rushed for 1,000 yards while splitting, and he missed games. Like, he's crazy. At 4, I got Alvin Kamara. Not as great between the tackles as these other guys we're talking about, but Alvin Kamara is probably on the same level as a CMC when it comes to receiving out of the backfield. Him and CMC are, yes, no doubt. Him and CMC, when it comes to receiving, you can book 60, 70, 80-plus catches for these guys coming out of the backfield. Alvin Kamara splits out wide, and he runs routes for this New Orleans Saints offense. And
just as good as C-Mac?
I believe so, man. If they CMC gets a lot of targets out of the backfield. They completely feature him when it comes to this receiving game. It's not even just about check downs. They run plays for CMC out of the backfield. Alvin Kamara, they run the screen game for him, but not as much as Carolina does for CMC. But I got Alvin Kamara at 4. Number 3, I got Delvin Cook. Delvin Cook can't stay on the field for the whole season, and that hurts his success. Even though he misses games here and there, this man is still a walking 1,200 yards. Like, we just got to put respect where respect is due. Delvin Cook is a dog, and you can argue Delvin Cook to be the best running back in the league. You can definitely make an argument for that if you a Minnesota Vikings fan. Number 2.
Well, you saw what happened this season that just passed, Beast.
Yeah.
That he was healthy. This is the first time he was healthy in a long time.
Yeah.
And what happened?
Successful. He's a dog. Delvin Cook you can make a legitimate argument for Delvin Cook to be the best running back in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2. Where's my wrench? King Henry. King Henry is number 2. Now, I made a video on TikTok about this, and I'm not mad at anybody who has Derrick Henry as the best running back in the league. I'm not mad at that because, to me,
I'm listening to this.
Based off what he did last year, I think he deserves that. You know what I'm saying? The man rushed for 2,000 yards. He's the workhorse back. He's missed, I think, not a lot of games in his career since he's been a starting running back. If any, like I can't recall Derrick Henry missing a game outside of the COVID thing.
In the last 2 years, he hasn't missed any games.
No games. That's what I'm saying.
None.
Off the top of my head. Like, Derrick Henry is a complete dog. And like I say, I'm not against anybody that says Henry is the best running back in the league. I just feel you can't disrespect this guy at number 1, and that's CMC. Christian McCaffrey, when healthy, is the best receiving back in the league. He's hellacious in between the tackles. You can bounce it to the outside. You can zone run with him, inside zone run with him, stretch with him. Any type of running style you run, power run, it doesn't matter. CMC is suit for it. And he can line up on the outside and give you 100 catches like he did the past 2 seasons before he got hurt. He can give you over 1,100 yards like he did the past 2 seasons before he got hurt. He could also damn near get you 1,000 rushing yards, multiple touchdowns through the air and on the ground. There is no running back in the National Football League that is better than Christian McCaffrey going into this season at this point. My decision can change by week 5 now. You're allowed to change your opinion when provided with new information. But coming into this season, as bad as I want to give it to King Henry, I got to give respect where respect is due. And I've been disrespecting CMC, but I'm here to let you know I'm done with that. Christian McCaffrey is the best running back in the National Football League.
Well, the thing I'm thinking about real quick, Beast, is Derrick Henry ran for 2,000 yards last season. I don't think he's going to do that again this year.
No.
But I think that at minimum, he runs for 1,600 yards. That still leads the league.
Possible.
He's still a workhorse back. He's still the best back, and he's still the best running back in the league.
Running back.
There's a difference between the best overall back because I think Christian McCaffrey, because I caught a lot of heat when Saquon Barkley was doing what he was doing. I caught a lot of heat when I said C-Mac is better than him. Wait, what do you mean he's better than him? Yes, he is a better all-around back than Saquon Barkley. I believe that. However, when I think about Derrick Henry, you can't game, just like you can't game plan for C-Mac, you can't game plan for Derrick Henry. You can put 7, 8, 9 guys in the box. He's still doing it.
And the crazy thing about Derrick Henry this year is you would be a new fool to put 8 in the box when you got Julio on one side and A.J. Brown on the other side. So like you say, Derrick Henry might rush for 16. He mess around and rush for 2,000 again if you keep – because you can't play these guys one-on-one. It's like a pick your poison with Tennessee this year. If you put 8 in the box, they going to audible and go to a pass because now you got 2 of the best wide receivers in the league on both sides. You have to figure out what you're going to do schematically when you come into this to play this team. You can't leave
somebody getting fired.
I'm telling
somebody
you,
getting fired.
Whether it's going to be Julio beating whoever in a one-on-one, which he can do anytime he feel like it. A.J. Brown, which is a young Julio. The first time I saw A.J. Brown in Tennessee, I called my boy up. I say, Mike, who is this number 11 for Tennessee? this cat look like Julio Jones. He put on the TV, he watch it. Yeah. He look like him. He's built like him. He run like him. Like, he just looks like Julio Jones. Come to find out, he modeled his game after Julio. Julio is his favorite wide receiver coming up. So it's just going to be hard to deal with that Tennessee offense this year. They going to do big things. Tannehill just basically has to manage the peel and don't turn it over. And Tennessee is going to have a lot of success this season.
Which I think he will.
Moving on. Let's get into wide receivers now. Wide receivers. Give me your top 10 wide receivers going into this season.
All right, so I'm going to go again from 10 to 1. At number 10, I got Allen Robinson. I think that I'm sorry, I'm drawing a blank right now, but I think that I'm sorry.
What you talking about?
Andy Dalton.
Okay, Andy Dalton.
I think Andy Dalton is better than Trubisky, and I think that Allen Robinson is going to have just as good a season, if not better, next season. Mm-hmm. Even though I don't think he's going to play long. Even though I don't think Dalton's going to play long, but I think he's going to be better. I think Allen Robinson's going to be very beneficial to him. At number 9, I got Ridley. I think that he benefited from Julio being out of the lineup, and I think that helped him. That helped Matt Ryan out tremendously. At number 8, and I want to put him higher so bad, but I can't because he's young, and that's Jefferson. I think Jefferson going to be a top 3 receiver. I think he's going to be a top 3 receiver in the next 2 to 3 years.
That is spicy.
In my opinion, I look at this dude. He looked like a bigger version of Chris Carter every time I watch him. That's what he looked like to me. He looked like he ain't got as good as hands as Chris Carter.
Nobody does.
I'm not gonna go that far, but that's what he looks like. Number 7, and I'm probably gonna catch some heat for this, but Keenan Allen still got it.
Okay, you're not gonna catch no heat for that.
Keenan Allen still got it. I still think he's a top 10 wide receiver.
I'm not mad at that.
At 6, I got Julio at number 6.
Not mad at that.
And the reason why I got Julio at 6 is because going into this season, Julio still has to prove that he's a top 5 wide receiver. Mm-hmm. And the reason why is because he was hurt last year. And even though he only played, 9 games, he still had over 700 yards in 9 games. Yeah. So the year before that, he did have 1,300 yards.
Yards has never been a problem for Julio. It's always been touchdowns.
Never. And with that offense that they're in, I'm very interested to see how this goes with him. At number 5, I could have flipped him. At number 5, I got the Cheetah.
Okay.
And Patrick Mahomes is going to be slinging it, and he's here, and he's absolutely his guy. Mm-hmm. So I got him at number 5. At number 4, and I want to put him higher, but I don't got the stones to do it. But I will. I will at some point. I don't got the stones to do it right now, but I will. And that's DK Metcalf.
Okay.
And I love DK Metcalf. And I can't stand Seattle as being a 49er fan. But he's impossible.
You're going to get killed for that one. This the one that you might get killed for.
Yeah, he's impossible. At number 3, I got Stephon Diggs. At number 2, I got Devontae. Mm-hmm. And at number 1,
got D-Hop.
I got Hop.
Not bad. You got a couple of guys I believe in there that I don't have in my top 10. But for my top 10 wide receivers going into this season, I got Allen Robinson at 10. At 10, I got Allen Robinson, right? Like you say, Mitch Trubisky's gone, and Andy Dalton is better than Mitch Trubisky, in my opinion. And I think so too. Justin Fields will come in, and I don't think he's going to leave anything behind. I think he may be better, and I think they should start Justin Fields out the gate. I don't know what the hell the Bears doing, even considering Andy Dalton. Get the rookie in the game and let him play. But I got A-Rob at 10. Great hands, great route running. A-Rob is just a dog. Point of attack, he's a dog. At 9, I got DK Metcalf. I got DK Metcalf at 9 simply because he does get a lot of drops, but he's a freak of nature, but I want to see more. I want to see DK dominate the game like I know he can. And I think he's going to impose his will this year and solidify top 5 wide receiver status in the league. But as of now, I'm not going to be disrespectful to the other guys on the list, and I'm going to put DK at 9. At 8, I got Keenan Allen, one of the best route runners in the league. He's a walk-in 100 catches. Justin Herbert is going to throw for a ton of yards in his offense. I don't see why anybody is going to be able to stop Keenan Allen this season. I'm not saying the Chargers are going to have a lot of success, but damn it, Keenan Allen will. At 7, I got Mike Evans. The Mike Evans slander stops now. This man has never had under 1,000 yards in his entire career. And I don't want to hear nothing about, no, he's in the pass-happy offense. Mike Glennon, his rookie year, was his quarterback. Still had over 1,000 yards. A lot of y'all like to disrespect Jameis Winston. Not me personally, because I think Jameis Winston is a serviceable quarterback in the National Football League. But a lot of y'all like to assassinate Jameis Winston. He's not all that, he threw for 5,000 yards, but he threw for 30 picks. And like 10 of them was for 6. But Mike Evans has never, even in an offense that featured Cameron Brate, Gronkowski, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, this man still managed to get 1,000 yards. Still.
Leonard Fournette.
And he played the entire season hurt. One of the best red zone threats in the league. The disrespect for Mike Evans stops now. At 6, even though he's hurt coming into this season, I got Michael Thomas. I will not forget about Michael Thomas in the year he had prior to getting injured. And I don't think anything has changed. He's progressed every single year of his career from his rookie season until he got hurt. He's gotten better and better and better and better. The injury derailed his success, but I think him coming in halfway through the season, he might not show you the Michael Thomas that I know he can be, but coming in the next season, getting a better rapport with Jameis Winston, I think he'll showcase why he's arguably the best wide receiver in the league. At 5, out of respect, I got Julio Jones. This is strictly out of respect due to the fact that the last time we saw Julio, he was 1,300 yards. Last year, he was hurt. He was battling injuries, and he still had over 700 yards. So I got no doubt in my mind that with a lot of one-on-one coverages, Julio Jones could be Julio Jones again if he's healthy entering the season. Number 4, I got Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs was in nobody's top 10 last year. Nobody's. Out the blue, this man showcased why he's one of the greatest route runners in the league. This man showcased why he has some of the best hands in the league. This man showcased why he can be depended on by his quarterback, Josh Allen. Stephon Diggs put us all on notice last season and said, hey, I'm here to stay. And so did this guy that's number 3, and that's Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill converted himself from a specialties guy, from kick return, punt return, to being a gadget wide receiver like a Cordell Patterson type, to solidifying himself as a bona fide wide receiver in the National Football League. Tyreek Hill deserves his respect, and I'm going to give it to him. Flat out. At number 2, I got that man up in Arizona, DeAndre Hopkins. This man needs a lot of volume, and he gets it. I love me some D-Hop. He's arguably the best wide receiver in the league, and I know I've said that about 3 or 4 times because that's just how damn well good these guys are. And things can change within 6 to 8 weeks. That's how quick these opinions can change because of how close these guys are. All of these guys are immensely talented, extremely dynamic. And that Moss in the front of the end zone, that Hail Mary to win the game last year, Kyler Murray to D-Hop, 4 guys around him, who gives a damn? I'm coming down with it. D-Hop is a dog. And, of course, at number 1, Tay Adams. Best route runner in the league.
That's what, and I'm glad you brought Tay Adams up. And the reason why I'm glad you brought that up, because it sounds like it's right there, G.
Yeah, it is.
It sounds like Beast. It sounds like you on the fence with Hop and Adams. What's separating Adams from Hop right now?
We're going to get into that later on in the show. I think let's get into that right now. That was a good segue. Hey, look, that was a hell of a segue. We got questions from the fans, right? Questions from the fans. And one guy asked, who's better, first of all, D-Hop and Tay Adams, and what separates them too. And I think basically they are very, very close when it come to pretty much every ability but route running. And I think that's what separates the two. Not to call D-Hop a slouch at running routes, because he's not. He's one of the best in the business. But Tay Adams is just on another level. He's nasty. He's unguardable. Tay Adams made Chad Johnson, who's the greatest route runner of all time, cry while watching his film. Chad Johnson was on Instagram shedding gangster tears watching Tay Adams run routes. And I'll repeat that. Chad Ochocinco is the greatest route runner to ever walk this planet. There's never been a better route runner than Chad Johnson. If he can hold anything on his head.
Better than T.O.?
No, he's better than T.O. No other wide receiver in the history of the game ever ran routes better than Ochocinco. And that man cried while watching Tay Adams run routes. And it's a lot of great route runners in this league, but it's just that's what separates Davante Adams from the whole league. It's his ability to run these routes, and he does it at such a high level. What about you?
That's fair. Absolutely, I think that's fair. Now, when I think about Hopkins, I think about what separates those two is Hopkins' ability to get off the line. You can't jam him at the line of scrimmage, but you also can't play behind neither, because he'll either burn you, he'll either hit you with a 10-yard hook, he'll hit you with outs, he'll just blow your doors off. Yeah. So you got to pick your poison with Hopkins. So when you talk about a guy like Davante Adams, who does run some of the best routes that I've seen, some of the quickest feet that I've ever seen.
It's crazy.
But when you talk about Hopkins, I'm looking at a guy who is getting jammed at the line of scrimmage, and he's telling you, do not try to jam me because I'm going to blow your doors off. Don't do it. Do not do it because I'm going to blow your doors off, and it's going to be your fault why I'm going to score. So don't do it. So the difference, right, in my opinion, is Hopkins, his ability to get off the line of scrimmage faster and better than anybody else.
Okay. I'm not mad at that. Continuing on with questions from the fans, one of my guys, man, he's one of my biggest supporters, and I love this dude, man. Ben923 says, start, bench, cut. We're going to switch it up with a little basketball. He gave me a start, bench, cut, James Harden, Allen Iverson, Dwayne Wade. This has been a hot topic over these past few days that I've been seeing a lot. Who you got, Unc?
Well, you know me, G. Understand something. Being a two-way player is not a premium. That is not cheese on a cheeseburger. The cheese comes with the burger. So that means that I'm starting Dwayne Wade.
Okay.
I'm starting Dwayne Wade because he's better all around, guys. I'm benching Allen Iverson and I'm cutting James Harden.
You benching? Okay.
I'm benching Allen Iverson and I'm cutting James Harden. And the reason why I'm benching Allen, because I think that Wade's a better all-around player than Allen Iverson. Allen is buckets, but he don't play on the defensive side of the ball like Dwayne does. Allen was able to take his team to the NBA Finals. I can appreciate that. But D. Wade absolutely led the league in scoring, and I thought that he had a really good case to win the league MVP in 2009. Absolutely. James Harden, I got to cut James Harden because I don't see that effort, not only on the defensive side of the basketball, but I've seen who James Harden is in the playoffs when we go deep into the playoffs, and I've seen him fall apart.
No doubt. I'm not mad at you, but when evaluating this start, bench, cut, I'm going off of sheer skill. I didn't go off of legacy. I didn't go off of rings. I didn't go off of accomplishments. I went off, who do I think is the better player? That's what I went off. I went the opposite direction you did. I'm starting Harden. I think James Harden, even though Dwayne Wade was a hell of a two-way player, he was a liability when shooting the ball. He was extremely one-dimensional on offense. And that didn't stop him from being one of the greatest shooting guards to ever play the game.
Shooting where? Shooting where, Beast?
On the three-point line, on perimeter. Dwayne Wade was not a great three-point shooter.
Because he had a really good mid-range game. Let's not make it sound like Wade, even though he didn't shoot the long ball, he couldn't shoot at all.
I mean, Dwayne Wade had a solid mid-range game, but for the most part, he was trying to get to that cup. Dwayne Wade was trying to get to that cup. Mid-range game was decent, but let's not act like D. Wade was out here like Kobe with the midi. Like, we're not going to sit here and act like that.
No, he wasn't that good. I'm not going to go that far.
Now, James Harden can pull it from 30. He can pull it from 26. He can pull it from 6. It don't matter wherever he's at on the court. You could get it however you want to get it. He's taking you off the dribble. He's getting it the hard way. He don't need no transition. He don't need no screen. Who's ever in front of him, that man is mean. If you think you're going to stop him, come out of your dream. Do you know what I mean? That is James Harden. That is who I am starting. I am rhyming for a reason, and it rhymes for a reason. Flat out. I'm benching Dwayne Wade because he is that dog. He is that man. And Dwayne Wade was an animal, even though, he has that liability that I was speaking on from the three-point land. And for some reason, him and LeBron still found a way to make it work. Like I always say, great players figure it out. Mm-hmm. And I'm, of course, benching Allen Iverson. He was inefficient. As great as a player Allen Iverson was. Huh?
So you cutting
Allen? Cutting. Yeah, I'm cutting AI. As great of a talent AI was, he was madly inefficient. And that could be due to the lackluster talent he had around him throughout the duration of his career, except for the times he went, the team he had in Denver. Allen Iverson was a great player, great scorer, but I don't think he's better than those two guys I mentioned above him. And that is my start bench cut. Now, as we all know, football is bike. So usually we end the show with questions from the fans, but we going to end this show with our predictions for this Thursday night's game. We got a good one. We have a very good game. I'm going to go first on this one. We got the Cowboys versus the Bucks. Now, Thursday night, man, I'm so happy. Like, this is feeling like a weight off my shoulders. Last Sunday was the last Sunday with no football. We get football from here on out, and I'm so happy.
Till next year.
Till next year. I'm so happy about it. We finally get the sport that I love the most, and that's football. But this Thursday, right, we got a great one. Cowboys, Bucks. Here's why I lie with this game. I'm not going to say it's going to be a lot of offense because the Bucks have a great defense. But I think the Bucks are going to go up a decent amount by half. And Dak Prescott is going to try to play the heroic role again in the second half like the Cowboys like to do, try to pull themselves out of this hole. They do, sort of. But the score ends 20-24 because Tom Brady is a bad man. And I think they're not going to be able to do much with that defense that the Buccaneers got and what they showcased in the Super Bowl last year, how they got after that quarterback. Zach Martin, all-pro guard. Zach Martin will not be playing in this game. That is a key factor to me. Them boys got after Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl, and they brought everybody back. I think Tampa Bay potentially, in my opinion, can go undefeated this season. Maybe a fluke game here or there, but if I think looking at this team's schedule, it is horrendous. They got probably, next to the Denver Broncos, they got probably the easiest schedule in the National Football League. I think these boys could run a table. So I got them beating the Cowboys 20-24.
Now, this is my question to you. Why are the Cowboys on opening night? There's no reason why they should be playing the defending Super Bowl champions on opening night.
Yeah.
It's a terrible matchup for them.
Hard knocks.
Absolutely.
It could because of hard knocks.
Absolutely terrible. They don't have no business on opening night. They could have found a better matchup for Tampa. I think they smoked the Cowboys on Thursday. I don't think they beat them. I think they smoked
Not
these
close?
dudes. I think they smoked them. I don't see the Cowboys putting up 20 points on that defense.
Wow.
I do not see the Cowboys putting up 20 points on that defense. Zeke is coming back from a down year.
Mm-hmm.
I would be more positive if this was week 4 or if this was week 6. You got to see these dudes on opening night? No, absolutely not. Not only that, without your best offensive lineman, Pro Bowl offensive lineman, and Zach Martin. We got to see these guys on opening night.
Yeah.
That means that Dak, who hasn't been hit in over a year,
Mm-hmm.
he's got to deal with JPP.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to deal with Sue, and he's got to deal with that defense. Oh, my goodness. And to have them on opening night.
It's tough.
On opening night. I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys got smoked by 2 touchdowns. That wouldn't surprise me one bit if they got smoked. And like I said, I'd be more positive about this game if it was in week 4
right,
or week 7.
Where we get to see what Dak can do.
Right.
Yeah.
But on opening night, I got them getting smoked.
It's a hell of a way to open it up for the Cowboys. I feel bad for the Dallas Cowboys. They got to face the defending champs. Some guys who are all hungry and they trying to repeat, man. But this should be a very, very good game, and I cannot wait until Thursday to see this game. Well,
they got everybody back.
They got everybody back. They got everybody back, and it's going to be a doozy. But, ladies and gentlemen, that completes episode 2, man. That completes episode 2. I'm glad you guys came in. You know we do this every Tuesday, every Friday night, 8 p.m. Central Time. Be here or be lame as hell. Because if you're not here, I don't know what the hell you doing with your Tuesday and Friday nights, man. I know we hogging up your Friday nights, but we do this every week. twice a week. And we love having y'all, man. And we love talking about this sports shit with y'all. And I appreciate all the support. Go follow us on all social media platforms. If you could not catch this, it will be up on YouTube at Sports Behavior Podcast. Go drop us a follow on TikTok, Sports Behavior Podcast. The link is in the description for everything if you want to go show us some support. So we appreciate y'all stopping in today. And that's about it. Unc, you got anything to say?
Take it light, but take it.
Yes, sir. We out, y'all.